if you are an elementary music teacher, there are probably a number of different routines that you do either each class or most classes. Maybe you switch them up every few months or so. But for me, that is singing attendance. I always, every day in K&1, I ask students where they are. I take attendance by singing. I ask, where is Johnny? And they're supposed to respond, here I am. Do they always do that? No. There are sometimes students who talk it, who don't say anything at all and just raise their hands. There are students who sing it back higher or lower, or with a different pattern. There are students who sing it back exactly right. There are students who sing it back with really good tone too. That's information that you can use to improve your instruction and enhance their experiences in your classroom. So I decided this at the beginning of the school year. I'm going to track how students respond. And it's not going to be some elaborate rubric that I have to put a detailed response for every single student that wastes time. Let's be honest, this should be a very quick assessment, a quick routine that happens every class that they can start to anticipate and hopefully get hyped up about, especially the students who just don't feel like singing at the beginning of the year. There are definitely students I have who did not actually start using their singing voice until February, like this month. But guess what? I have all the information there and I can see, okay, it took this student, 12, 13, 14 weeks to be comfortable with that, but they're doing it now. And that's really what I'm looking for as a music teacher. I'm not looking for students to be absolutely perfect. I'm looking for that progress because there is no zenith of musical skill. We're always improving, we're always learning. However, as a teacher, we are also observed. I'm a new teacher in my district, so I am being observed formally 3 times this year. We're observed, we have to create teacher goals, we have to submit evidence, we have to conference with our observers or administrators or principals. So having something like this, something that you can easily track consistently, is a great way to show how student learning is playing out in your classroom. So let's take that example of students simply responding, so, me, so, with whatever response that you've assigned. It could be their name. I have a whole blog post on very simple ways to assess singing in your classroom, building those routines from kindergarten. Check that out. But with me, I have a list of students and I either put a check if they said here, or if they just raise their hand or nod or smile or say something. It's not a sung response. I put S if they sang, but not if it didn't match the pitch. So if I ask, where is Amelia? Sometimes students will go, here I am, which is in a different key and it's a different pattern. And hey, it's a singing voice. I want to know that. So I put S. If they match the pitch exactly, that's an M. If they match the pitch and it's a particularly good tone, I have students in first grade who take voice lessons. I have students who just enjoy singing so much that I want to mark that down, because if I need a student model in the future, or if I'm looking at data and thinking, this would be a great student to audition for this local choir or do this after school musical theater activity, I have that. And of course I would encourage any student to do that, but having that data is still really important for me. It's important for me to know how students are making progress. It's important for me to know so I can change up my instruction, change up how I maybe ask the question or how I encourage students to sing. It's good to have very simple, consistent data like that. So nothing complicated, nothing where I have to circle box or check off boxes or circle categories or check S, M, M asterisk. That is it. You can do this for rhythm responses. So in older grades, I might not have them sing back their name. I might say Eric. And then Eric would clap back. And that would be whatever kind of code you would use, for that. They kept a steady beat. They matched the pattern exactly. They didn't hesitate, something like that, where you can assess their rhythmic fluency, their sense of steady beat. If you have routines in your classroom like this that are short, simple, happen consistently at the beginning or end or middle of your classroom, and you're not tracking data, I'm going to encourage you to start doing that. It can only help you improve the way you teach and give you a better sense of maybe how students are making progress, what kind of little nudges students might need to be comfortable singing or clapping rhythms or doing whatever sort of responses you do in your classroom.